Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are entering the world of social skills, and I'm going to be talking about flaking. Flaking is whenever someone unexpectedly cancels plans. And if someone has a reputation as a flake, then there's nothing unexpected about it. We were expecting them to cancel the plans. But just like the different reasons adults whine, there's also different reasons why adults flake. And by understanding the nuances of this field, it will be easier not to personalize it. And every now and then, it will be easier to keep pushing. Maybe this person is flaking for a strategic reason, and you will find out why if you keep on pushing. If you're ready and excited for today's talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. So the first reason that people flake is, and by the way, this is not in any particular order. This is just a bunch of different reasons. One of the reasons that someone flakes is because it was simply small talk. They weren't actually thinking they were making plans to only be surprised. This happens to me a lot at weddings. Every now and then I'll go to a wedding. I see someone that I haven't seen in a long time. We're over here talking for a while, and then this person's like, "Hey man, where do you live nowadays?" I say, "Downtown Tampa. What about you?" And they're like, "I live in downtown Tampa too." You know what, man, let's just exchange numbers real quick. We exchange numbers, then they're like, "Hey, now that I think about it, I'm hosting a barbecue next weekend. You should come." I'm like, yeah, definitely, man. Barbecue, I love barbecues. I'm thinking that this is simply a part of the small talk phase. And then next weekend rolls around and he's like, "Yo, Armani, see you at the barbecue later today." What? We talked for 30 minutes. The barbecue came up for a split second. I thought it was just a part of the conversation, and you actually expect me to show up? Dang, man, I got a flake on you. So this is one of the reasons people flake. It's because they were viewing it as a small talk material. They thought they were just being polite. They did not think that you were actually going to follow up with a legitimate plan. That's one reason. Another reason people flake is for the most obvious reason, and that's because there's not much interest. And this is where things get confusing, because every now and then, one person will give the other person the number. The person seems very enthusiastic in the initial meetup. Let's say Peter asked Mary for her number at Starbucks. Mary is looking very glowingly at Peter. She gives her number, all for Peter to get flaked on the next week, the week after that, and even the week after that. What gives? The sad truth is that Mary doesn't have as much interest in Peter as Peter initially thought. Maybe Mary has other options. Maybe Mary didn't want to offend Peter, or maybe Mary was just feeling it that day, but later on, Peter's face was really hazy in her mind, so she's like, I'll just flake. So this is another reason people flake. There's not enough interest in the interaction. The third reason people flake is because of an actual emergency. You will be shocked how many folks will just ghost someone when they flake on them. Like, what? This person flaked on the date. You know what? Forget it. I'm never going to talk to this person again. All for this person to have been going through a real life emergency. Maybe their father had a heart attack. Maybe this person's car broke. Maybe this person just got robbed. For this reason of flaking, there is an actual reason. So don't ghost someone so quick. In the real world, stuff does happen. So hear them out if you feel interest in them. And the fourth reason people flake. See, this one is something that's going to surprise you. But this is when a person puts up a barrier and they want to see how much you want to break through the barrier. Let's say Peter and Mary. I really got to get better with choosing these names, but let's just say Peter and Mary. They meet on a dating app. Initially, Peter seems to be pursuing her a lot, and Mary is very excited because Mary is like, man, this guy is my type. So they're supposed to coordinate a phone call. They do coordinate the phone call, all for Peter to not follow up the days before saying, hey, are we still on for the phone call? And suddenly, when she checks the app, Peter has disappeared. She doesn't know what to think. Maybe Peter, something happened to his phone. Maybe he just wasn't feeling the dating apps. Who knows? But Mary was left in a limbo. 3 years pass by. And this time, Peter hits up Mary on Facebook. And he's making a whole bunch of different excuses like, hey, I lost my phone. I deleted the dating apps, blah, 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 blah. We should definitely get a call this time around. And this time, Mary says, sure, why not? And by the day the call rolls around, she's the one who flakes. But she flakes with intent. She's not flaking because there's little interest. She's flaking because there's high interest in Peter. She just wants to make sure that this guy is not going to waste her time, and she wants to be pursued. A lot of women, or just folks that want to be pursued, even managers at times who has the power to hire someone, they will evaluate how much this person wants the job based on how many flakes they will overcome. I told this rookie that I was going to be there on Friday. I wasn't. Is he just going to quit? Or is he going to keep coming back for more until I see resilience? And I'm like, I can't help but give you the job. That's what Mary is thinking with Peter. If Peter keeps coming back, then Mary's like, okay, this guy definitely is showing interest. Let's do it. And mind you, this one right here, this type of flakiness is very easy to, as I like to say, get lost in the sauce, because someone can easily be wasting your time and you have no clue. This ultimately comes down to judgment. I mean, how much does Peter really want to be with Mary? And how much does Peter want to break through that barrier that Mary has up? If he really wants it, then Mary is sort of serving as that manager who's looking at the worker and is like, I'm rejecting you to only accept you with open arms. So these are a couple of different reasons people flake. And the next time that you're either flaking or you're getting flaked on, understand that it's not just due to a lack of interest. Other times it could be due to small talk. It could be due to a person wanting you to pursue the interaction more. Or it could be born from a real life emergency. It is not always a lack of interest. If you enjoyed today's talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. And thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel.